Stephen Fry wrote this instructional book on poetry. Each chapter has poetry exercises, and I aim to do them all, posting the terrifying results in videos to amuse, educate, and hopefully make you want to buy this lovely book. Hey, don't do that. Don't. Alright. Right then, this episode deals with the back end of the second chapter. Here we encounter trochaic substitutions, pyrrhic substitutions, and weak endings. All of these involve playing with soft and hard syllables and messing about with your basic pattern of iambic pentameter, which looks like this. See how it goes? Da-da, 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 da-da? I got enough. This is what you've seen me use in the previous two episodes, and now we're going to screw around with it. The short definitions are as follows. A trochaic substitution is when you start an iamb with a hard syllable, that is to say, this, instead of this. A pyrrhic substitution is, I found, the slipperiest of the three tricks we're looking at today. This involves finding a way to string three weak syllables together in a row, making sure to follow them with a hard syllable. A weak ending involves extending your iambic pentameter to 11 syllables, making sure that the last syllable is, of course, weak. Stephen's exercise for this chapter is as follows. Write 16 unrhymed lines of iambic pentameter. Try to include as many of the techniques that have just been taught, earning a certain amount of points for each, without messing up the primary iambic rhythm. Personally, I found that if something started to read like a line from a novel, then I was messing up the rhythm. You get 5 points for trochaic and pyrrhic substitutions. Weak endings get you 2 points, and Stephen is even kind enough to offer 2 points for each. Enjambment, a technique we looked at in the last episode. For subject matter, Stephen uses it in his example and suggests to us headlines from the BBC website. But when I got to this exercise, I was sitting in a park with no internet access or a newspaper handy. So instead, I took a stab at something that seemed to have followed me from my apartment's balcony several blocks over to my favourite park bench. Wasp in the park, he is the biggest arsehole, flapping his shitty little wings at me. Unlike bees, he can sting you all day long. His poisoned prick never goes flaccid. Oh boy, oh goodness, is this sugar here? Possibly in your food or in your eyes. It's best if I try crawling over both. If you don't let me, David and Goliath, Sparta and the Persians, my arse, your face. A movement. Placards, slogans, all shouting loudly at wasps. The people will rise up, swatting down the black and yellow oppressors. Too much work. A personals ad instead. White Anglo-Saxon protester with poem. Seeking deliverance, a single female. Non-smoking wasp murderess greatly preferred. Okay, this video would really drag if I broke down the whole thing, so let's just go over a line or two that demonstrate what I've introduced in this episode. In the first sentence, I did quite alright, opening with a trochaic substitution, sticking a pyrrhic substitution in the middle, and finishing with a weak ending. That's 12 points for me right there, whoo boy! But Stephen also encourages us to be ruthless in our grading. When he judges his own example, he actually deducts points where he felt he was reaching a bit, and I think I'll have to do the same here. While I certainly can pronounce he is the as 3 weak syllables, it's easy to see someone else putting a standard iambic rhythm to them as he is the. A better pyrrhic substitution can be found in my 5th line. Again, right here in the middle. It could just be a matter of personal opinion, but I do feel the flow does a much better job of guiding the reader towards soft pronunciation of the syllables. I mean, it sounds a bit off if you say, goodness, is this sugar here? Here's my poem in its entirety. You could pause the video and dissect it as practice, if you fancy. My total score in the end was 74 points, though more like 70 after I deducted a few for some reaching on my part. Fry's example earned him a score of 106. Luckily, my ego is strong enough to withstand earning a lower score than a brilliant man with several decades more life experience. Yep, no self-esteem issues here.
Meanwhile, in the universe where Oliver got a higher score than Stephen...
Ha ha! Take that, you rotund rat bastard! I win, I win, I win! You lose, I don't lose, I win! Ah! Ha ha! But please, pretty please point at my YouTube channel with your magnificent Twitter dick. Oh please! I need the validation, oh God! My ego is so fragile.
If I didn't care more than words can say,